This episode is brought to you by Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6 is the ultimate all-out warfare experience. Rip through the skies in aerial dogfights. Demolish your surroundings for a strategic advantage. Harness complete control over every action and movement using the kinesthetic combat system. Drop into multiplayer with your squad, or fight furiously as a member of the Dagger 1-3 squad in a gritty, adrenaline-fueled single-player campaign where you'll defend a world on the edge of collapse.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, I wanted to start encouraging people to, if you have an opinion about something that I talk on, go on your own platform and talk about it. But if you're going to come to my platform and I guess try to start an argument with me, or you want to disagree with my views on things, whatever the case may be, to where we're not seeing eye to eye, that's why I strongly recommend that you go onto your own platform and you say whatever it is that you need to say. Because the thing is this, I think, I did. I don't think I've posted it yet, but I think I did. Yeah, I did this episode where I talked on the Steam Deck and the Nintendo Switch 2. But I also did a video of it on TikTok, and I also just recently posted the video on YouTube. So anyways, people on both TikTok and YouTube have been trying to argue me talking about, the Nintendo Switch. It's only a Nintendo exclusive. You can't download all these different games and emulate all these other different games. My thing is this. Obviously, the Steam Deck ain't all that good. And here's the thing, though. I do have me a Steam Deck, and I like it. I think it's good for some games. But it's not on the same scale as the Nintendo Switch 2, where the Nintendo Switch 2, they got a lot of different good games on there. Where it could be, if you're wanting to play something racing related, you got Mario Kart. You want to play an adventure game? They got 2 Legend of Zelda games where it's like you can probably spend a year playing both of those games and still have a lot of different stuff to do in there. I'm trying to think, then the Pokemon games that they got, because they got like one called like Arceus or something like that. Then they got the other one's like Scarlet. I think I got the Pokemon Scarlet one. Then they got a one that's coming out called Z through A or something like that. So Nintendo does have a lot of good games, and it's just like with the Steam Deck. They got a lot of good games. But it seems like with the Steam Deck, though, that's one thing that I always hear about it, is that people are having to get, emulators and stuff to make it even better. And I'm like, fam, you shouldn't have to do that with a video game platform, device, whatever and stuff, whatever you want to call it. You shouldn't have to do that. You should just be able to whatever games, because, yeah, the Steam Deck, I remember when I very first got my Steam Deck, I'm thinking like, okay, I'm going to be downloading a bunch of different games, playing and all that. I think at most, and I think I have the Steam Deck where it has the most amount of memory, like a terabyte or something like that. I think the most I've ever had downloaded at a time is maybe like 3 or 5. Maybe I just ain't got a big enough Steam library, but at the same time, I'm not trying to buy all these different Steam Deck verified games, and I don't even know too much about them. I don't be liking to do that on my PC. So it's like, fam, there's not really a selling point, I guess, when it comes to the Steam Deck. Don't get me wrong, though. It's still a fun device, but with the Nintendo, and my thing is this, if you're looking for something that has more PC games, yeah, it's probably best that you do go with the Steam Deck. But if you don't care about that, and you're like, I just want to be able to play, I'm trying to think of something with the Nintendo Switch. I mean, that's what I was getting ready to say about the Nintendo Switch, was that that it has, like, you can play like the old Nintendo games from like back in the day. Like, you can play Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, Dreamcast. I'm trying to think. I think they just recently added some GameCube games, Game Boy Advance games, and yeah, you could probably do the same thing, but you have to like download all these different programs and do all these different things versus you start up your Switch. You sign in, or yeah, create an account, sign in, go to the Nintendo Online store. Yeah, you might have to pay a yearly, and I think the yearly like subscription thing for Nintendo Switch is pretty much what the Xbox 360 was back in the day. It's like $60. I don't even think it's that. I think it's less than that. Hold on for a second. Let me because I do have my Switch right here. So let me check that real quick because yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious. There's like DLC ready to play. What is all these different things? I'm like, bro, I'm like, that. What is going on? I'm like, all these different things. But hold on. All right, so let me Nintendo Online. So they got so individual membership, 12 months. For $49.99. That's the subscription service for and that's like to play all the games, play online, all that stuff. You get and then you even get to, if you have a Nintendo Switch 2, you get to upgrade Legend of Zelda for free. So it's like you then the old games and all that other stuff. Then they also have it where there's like some DLC content for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. My thing is this, all right? In my opinion, the Nintendo Switch 2 is better, alright? It comes with a docking station. I can plug it up and play it any and everywhere. Yeah, the Steam Deck, you can buy a docking station, but I'm trying to have it where it's like the platform or the device with the most accessories and stuff. They have where you can detach the controllers, slide it off into this like it's like in case if you wanted to you're playing it on your, because you would have to take out the controllers and stuff, and then you put it in this controller thing. They don't have it where you have to pay for that. They don't have it where you got to pay for this like the controller. I guess like if you did want to, because it's like if you wanted to play with the docking station, Steam Deck docking station, that would cost, and then let's see if they got like a specialized controller, just overall control. So they do have like stuff. So they don't even have a price for the controller. They just say it's like, oh, it's a Steam controller released. Okay, maybe I don't know, that maybe they just have it where it's like you can get any controller and stuff, Steam Deck PC gaming controller, because I'm like, fam, what am I looking at right now? But yeah, if you wanted to $79 for a docking station, and then if you wanted to get a controller, $69.99, versus it's like that stuff already comes with the Switch. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, look, all right, I get at the end of the day if you like the Nintendo or the Steam Deck, but you cannot compare it to the Nintendo Switch 2. All right, it comes with more accessories. You don't have to download a bunch of different programs to emulate and play old games. Like they have the old games right there for you to play if you have the this membership. And I guess like if you ain't trying to pay no extra money, but I'm like, but you're willing to pay $79 and then $69 for a docking station and a controller, where the Switch already comes with that stuff, and then you can use that money to play the old games. And even if it's like, okay, well, you might not play the games for that long, then it's like, okay, then cancel the membership at some point in time. But that's the thing, though, what I mainly wanted to talk on was that I'll say things like that, right? I'll state the obvious. And people want to sit and argue with you because of their own personal experience. And I'm like, fam, do you have a Nintendo Switch 2? And do you have a Steam Deck? Whichever, whether it's the original or the OLED, regardless, do you have both devices? Because if not, then it's like, fam, you can't make no comments about the both of them, and you don't even have both of them. All right, but if you do have the both of them, and you're like, oh yeah, I put a lot of hours into the Steam Deck, I put a lot of hours into the Nintendo Switch, I like the Steam Deck a little bit more. See, that's more of a civil opinion. That's more of an opinion. I'm like, okay. I'm like, they seem reasonable. They don't seem like that they trying to have no argument with me and stuff. They just letting me know, and that's the thing. I don't mind that. But when you're trying to change my mind, or you're all like, oh, well, the Steam Deck, it has this, this, and this, and the Switch don't have all of that. Fam, I'm like, okay, you had your own personal, if you do have a Switch, you had your own personal experience with it. When I talk on my experience with the Switch, I'm always saying good things about it. And I'm like, fam, with the Nintendo Switch 2, because I had all three Nintendo Switches, and yeah, I would say that the Steam Deck, in my opinion, it's a lot better than the two original Switches, the Switch 1 and then the Switch OLED. The Steam Deck is by far better, loads up faster, games play better. It's by far a better device. But when the Steam Deck 2 came out, I'm like, fam, not that much of a difference, but I would say that it can be put in that category of gaming today versus the older Switches, where it's like, yeah, Nintendo, y'all could have held off a little bit, or it's like you could have did a little bit more with the and I mean, it really hasn't changed that much. I would say that games, yeah, the only thing that's really changed with the Switch 2 and the older Switches is that games play better. In the Switch, games, they load up faster alongside with the Switch. Stuff on there loads up faster. But I'm like, fam, eventually though, the Steam Deck, because it being the older device, it is gonna start getting slow. It is gonna start getting a little bit older and stuff. Guess what's gonna be still being played? The Nintendo Switch. And that's the thing where it's like, I don't know because I sit down and think about that too. Nintendo has been a platform. They've been around a lot longer than Steam. I'm like, because I'm like, I didn't know of Steam growing up. I knew of Nintendo. So that's why I'm like, like people, they're trying to compare a company where they done came out with like classic, and I mean, yeah, Steam, the games, because I think they own that Valve company or something like that. Steam got some good games on there, like the exclusive game. Well, they ain't really exclusives, but they overall got some good games on Steam. But I'm like, Nintendo, let's just say this much. If Nintendo and Steam, if they both reached out to me and was like, we want to work with you on making a video game, and it could be a video game of your choosing and all this other stuff, I'm like, Steam, it's definitely one of those things. I don't know. I think I would try to push for getting my game released on both platforms, Steam and Nintendo. But if I had to choose, it probably, it's kind of, I didn't ask myself a hard-hitting question, and I'm like, dang, I really don't know who I would choose if I sit down and I think about it and stuff, because you want to choose Nintendo because Nintendo got more experience when it comes to gaming. But Steam, on the other hand, it seems like I think I probably would go with Steam, but I think I definitely would have it where I save my money and try to get my game released on Nintendo too, because I just feel like that. Yeah, it's like, I just think it depends on the game. Like if I'm creating a family game, then I'm like, yeah, then Nintendo. I'm like, because I think everybody, that's like mainly what they was like based off of. They got a lot of different games out there that's meant for families, and then Steam, if I'm like creating a shooter game, or something where it's just more PC friendly, then I'm like, and then that's another thing too, where it's like you got a lot of, because hold on for a second, because I do have Steam open, and I was like, and I remember I was talking on that before. I don't like how they changed up this their like settings. It's weird looking. Because I'm like, I be trying to like look for stuff and I can't even find nothing because they got it where it's like everything just look weird. And I don't even know what I'm like trying to look for. I swear, man. Okay, here we go. I found it. So anyways, yeah, so I'm like, there's just the games that they have. A lot of them I don't know too much about. Like the only game that I see on here that it's like, okay, I know that this, so there's two games. So, well, three, but I haven't played one, but anyways, NBA 2K. Don't nobody like NBA 2K. But I guess like if you are on the Switch and you haven't seen too many basketball games, yeah, I can see why you would get that game. Now I don't know how it plays on the Switch, But I would imagine that, yeah, it's the game ain't even good on PC, so that's why I'm like, nah, I feel like that it's one of those games I'm like, that game shouldn't even exist. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Now I didn't play the game on the Steam Deck. But I did play it on PC. Yeah, visually it does look a little bit better, but they did put out the next gen version. And I don't think they have the next gen version now on Switch, so I guess yeah, you probably got the one up on that and stuff. But overall, though, it's still one of those family games, and it's like, yeah, you don't really see to me, like, you have to, like I said, you have to go out and get these accessories just to make it into a. And the funny thing is this too. So why do you think Steam Deck came out with a docking station? Because for the longest they were just this app that was that you would download to your PC and just start playing games. Why do you think they came out with a Steam Deck, a docking station, and yeah, was promoting like all these different, like, you know, there's some family games that you can play, but why do you think they did that? And I'm like, my thing is this, and I guess just to answer that question, the reason why I personally believe why they did that is because of the Nintendo Switch when it very first came out. Because everybody was like, whoa, wait a minute, a gaming console where you can plug it up to your TV, your monitor, or whatever, and play it like it's a, you know, an Xbox or a PlayStation. And then you can take it out of the docking station and you could go any and everywhere in your house to play it. So like, yeah, let's say you're, you know, you're off up in your room playing Legend of Zelda or something like that, right? And you're like, well, dang, I want to hurry up and finish up this mission, but I got to go make me something to eat because I'm a little bit on the hungry side. Take it up out the docking station, you go downstairs, you make yourself something to eat, but then you got the game there ready for you to get back into playing it and stuff. That was before they just had announced the Steam, or not the Steam Deck, but the Nintendo Switch. I guarantee and I promise you, Steam wasn't even thinking about they wasn't thinking about no docking station. They wasn't thinking about no handheld gaming. Maybe they were, and they just, they decided to finally go through with it after the Switch that came out. But I feel like this Switch, it inspired a lot of different like handheld gaming devices. And I mean, yeah, handheld gaming devices, they've been around for a while now, you know, like ever since I was a kid, you know, because you had the PSP, you had the Game Boy, you had I'm trying to think of some other ones, the Nintendo, I'm telling you, when it comes down to a handheld gaming device, it seems like that they're always going to be on top. Because that was one thing where it's like, I felt like that had seen more people with Game Boys, Nintendo DS's. Wasn't the Wii U handheld? Hold on for a second. Let me look that up real quick. I feel like I know the Wii wasn't, but the Wii U, I believe that was handheld. Yeah, that was handheld. But I think it was like something where it's like you can plug it up to the TV or something like that, because they have like this other device next to it. And yeah, it looks like dang, that came out in 2012. I wasn't even really into Nintendo like that. There was like a Wii U on the right, and then a Wii U gamepad. Oh, so wait a minute, was it I don't even know anymore, man. I'm like, I don't know what they had going on back then with the Nintendo and the Wii U and stuff. So, but anyways, but yeah, overall though, my thing is this. If you have an opinion about something, go on your own platform or profiles and talk about that. I ain't trying to see that. I don't care about the thing is this. If it's an opinion that we can both agree on, then it's like, okay, cool. I'm not trying to say that you gotta think along the lines like me, but I'm just saying, you trying to change my mind, that's not gonna happen. So that's why I'm like, yeah, people, please go on about your business with that type of stuff. I'm like, man, it just trips me out when people, it's like they go and they have their opinion on something and they're all like, oh, no, I gotta sit and argue with this guy until he changes his mind. You ain't gonna change my mind, bro. I'm still gonna be playing on my Switch 2 probably a lot more than my Steam Deck. When the Steam Deck probably has a little bit more games are compatible, then I'll play on my Steam Deck a little bit more. But anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.